Hey everyone, Paul Finck here. This is Maverick Mondays, and I am the Maverick Millionaire. Welcome to the show. Today we're going to talk about decisions. Are they important to make fast? Do you make decisions and actually stick to them? What are these things called decisions anyway? Where do you stand in the decision-making process? So powerful as to where you end up and what you do in your life, how you accomplish, how you achieve, how you engage in the world, all ends up being based on this thing called decisions. And we're going to talk all about that here. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Paul Finck, the Maverick Millionaire, and I help people change their world, change their lives, change their business models, create change in their world by doing it differently, creating a difference in their world. Do it different today and you'll create a different tomorrow. Doing it unconventionally and going after things in a whole different manner than you normally do. That's what this is all about. That's who I am all about. And that's what we accomplish here every single week on Maverick Mondays. And what I do in all my training and all my coaching all around the world is all about this message. Do things differently. You want a different result? Create a difference in your world. You want something different in your life? Create something different today. All of this is powerhouse to your existence. So let's create that difference now. Let's talk about what it means to act differently with your decisions. What's going on with your decisions? And for all of you coming on, go ahead and you can comment right here, whether you're listening to this live or listening to this in rebroadcast. Go ahead and comment and we'll be able to engage and really spend a little time together, really understanding and doing a deeper dive. Only for right now, let me talk a little bit about this thing called decisions. I watch people, and I am a huge study of people. I've started off as a clinical psychologist, or at least was trained to be one, and really soon, as I was in the process of being trained to be a clinical psychologist, decided that's not where I wanted to play full out. However, I got highly trained in it, and I've been studying the human condition ever since for the last 35 years plus. And in that time, I've really understood some core components that how people approach decision making really can make the difference with where they end up. And let's take a couple components. One is the speed with which you make decisions, how fast you come to a conclusion. That process so many people call due diligence. Is due diligence important? Is it something you've got to do on a regular basis? How long should due diligence last? How long should that process be? All of these components feed into where you end up. So for instance, you take a long time in due diligence. Most opportunities, especially in the entrepreneurial, small business world, big business world, opportunities come and go. They're fleeting. You've got to take fast action to take advantage of them. You want to spend a lot of time on due diligence, you may miss them. You also do want to have a process, though, for making decisions. Just jumping in doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense for most people. And so what's the process? How do you shorten that process? Make it really quick so that you can know when to take action and when not. So part of that speed, and of course, absolutely talk here, absolutely engage in some response to what I'm talking about. Go ahead and comment below. So I'm talking about decision-making process, and do you have a process? One, and this is the first tip, some Maverick magic, if you will, that I'll add to this call. When you're going through the process, one technique is to really have criteria in advance for making a decision. So for instance, you You are interested in going out to eat. You're going to make a decision as to where you're going to go. Have certain criteria. Okay, every place that I'm going to go has to have a Yelp rating of 5. Every place that I go has to be focused in on no MSG. Every place I have to go, and you could create criteria in advance for how to make the decision. Thus, when you're in the moment, when you're now deciding, oh, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? You absolutely can decide very quickly just by going down your criteria. So really powerful to make a quick decision will be to have criteria in advance. My wife and I over the years have created these criteria for making different decisions on business as well as pleasure, and in work-related as well as personal-related environments, on how to make quick decisions both together as well as independently. And we have these different criteria lists, if you will. Real powerful to create just a magnificent proactive world for yourself, a proactive existence. A couple other tips for what happens. Do you make quick decisions having criteria in advance? And I would also say building a habit of making a quick decision. I got to tell you, there are people that I've experienced that their habit, and you've seen them, I know you have, the habit that you've seen is that people don't make decisions. Their actual habit is a lack of a habit of making a quick decision is a decision not to make a decision, if you will. For instance, and I laugh at this every time. Ever go into a fast food restaurant? You go into a fast food restaurant. Now, the menu is up above the counter. It's the same menu that's been there for years, if not decades with some of them. Same menu, and you'll have the person approach the counter and they'll be, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to order. And they'll just be looking at this menu forever. You'll be standing behind them saying, what's going on? They'll be standing there waiting. The person in front of the counter will be, excuse me, ma'am, can I help you? Wait a minute. And they'll still be looking around from menu to menu, figuring it out. Hey, Terry, welcome aboard. Hey, Christine. So absolutely, the key is, what do they end up ordering? They're in the fast food restaurant. They're looking at the menu. The menu is the same as it always has been. They've been taking forever to place their order. And then they end up ordering the same thing they've ordered over and over and over again. See, the reality is they have a habit of making a slow decision. Their habit is to pause, to contemplate all their options, even though the options haven't changed any, and then to make a decision. Now, I teach, when you come to my 3-day boot camp, when you spend time with me, one of the first lessons you'll hear me talk about is what you do here, you do everywhere. What you do here, you do everywhere, which means that that person that's making a really long process in just ordering what they're eating for the day will have a hard time making decisions no matter what they do day in and day out. So absolutely, they've got that habit. Here's what I want you to do. And one of the things that I will tell you will absolutely strengthen you up and build you up so that you can make faster and faster habits on a regular basis. This is what I want you to do. And maybe you can commit to this. Matter of fact, share with me right here that you're committed to making this happen. Here's what I want you to do. No matter what restaurant you're in, no matter where you're eating, no matter where it is, anywhere in the world, whether it's a fast food restaurant or one of those restaurants that has a 10, 12-page menu, I want you to dedicate to place your order within 30 seconds of looking at the menu, or at very least decide what you're going to order within 30 seconds of looking at the menu. Who do you think can commit to that? You're going to say yes. You're going to commit to the 30-second ordering rule 30-second ordering rule. Go ahead and say yes below. Go ahead and commit to it. I will tell you. Now, does this mean, oh my gosh, it's so important that you are really fast on placing orders at a restaurant because you've got better things that you're going to be doing? Well, maybe you've got great people that you're eating with. You've got other great conversations to get to. Absolutely. Only will that change your results in your world? Maybe, maybe not. However, this is what it will change. You'll be building up a muscle. You'll be building up a muscle as to your strength of decision making, how powerful you are as a decision maker, just by doing that one simple change. Decide, no matter where you are, what you're going to eat within 30 seconds. That alone will help create you as a fast decision maker, which will then transcend not just what you're eating and where you're eating, it'll also operate in other areas of your world and create a new existence for yourself. So this is how it's done. We just create habits in little areas of our life that transcend and create our world, become who we are. Do you want to become a fast decision maker so you can actually move forward and create more in your world? That's what this is all about. So start with just what you order, just what you're eating for the day. Are you making a quick decision? 30 seconds. I promise you, I've been doing this for years, and now that I put it out there, I would guarantee you people will come and eat out with me, and they'll instantly be checking their watch to see how long it takes me to eat, or at least how long it takes me to order. So absolutely, go ahead and do this. It will strengthen your muscles on making decisions on a regular basis. Oh man, it's tough. I know. I've attentioned to it. I've given attention to it many times. I've attempted, but I'll continue to time it. Absolutely. I will tell you, it all is a habit. And the habit, as with any habits, the more you do it, the more it'll become a natural for you. The more you do it, you'll begin to see the strength of your muscle increasing with it. The more you do it, the easier it becomes to do it. And the more you do it, the more obvious it becomes how it will help you in all areas of your world. You see, one of the things, and this is where it all starts, one of the things that I've noticed is that really effective people that create a magnitude in their world, people that create just powerhouse in their business, in their personal life, that have the life that they really wanted, they make quick decisions. Not only that, but once they make a quick decision, they take an action on it right away. They make a decision, they make a quick decision, they take action on it right away. People that, well, maybe not creating the life of their dreams, maybe not quite living to their fullest potential, maybe not creating the life that they always wanted and creating the results around them that would show up the way they wanted. People that don't get all that, here's what usually happens. They delay on making decisions. They hesitate on making a decision at all. They're not sure. They second guess themselves. They have insecurities about what to do. When they finally do make a decision, they then second guess themselves, third guess themselves, fourth guess themselves. They're stumbling over themselves on a regular basis, never quite taking the action, even though they've already decided that's the action they want to take. Then, when they finally take the action, which is a long time after they made the decision to take the action, when they finally take the action, they then second guess the action. And oftentimes reverse the action that they just took because they're not sure about taking the action, and they pull back and they get scared. All of this happens with people that are not really firm decision makers. And those people that aren't firm decision makers never quite create success. Here's what the highly successful people do. They don't second guess themselves. They make a decision and they stick to it no matter what, and they go the course. They make sure that they're obstinate in their decision-making process. They make sure that they absolutely get in the game and keep going. They make a decision, they stick to it. They never look back, they look forward. They create adjustments along the way. However, once they make a decision, they take action and they get it done. All these components create for a magnitude of action, which then translates into a magnitude of results. And that's where most people miss out, is that they don't take the action in the first place. And when they do, they reverse it by second guessing themselves. And they don't stay the course to see what could happen on the other side, what could be there for them, their future, their existence, their dream life. So absolutely, with all of this, taking the action comes after you make the decision, but immediately after. And it comes from having some good criteria, maybe doing some due diligence, only, man, decide, and then take the action that follows. Few comments I see here. Absolutely, I agree. It used to take 10 minutes to order, and now it's about 1 to 2 minutes. Excellent. Not quite 30-second mark, only you're getting there. Good job, Robin. Which follows the way I am in life. Faster decisions, but still not pulling the trigger right away. But it's an internal struggle, absolutely. The right hand says go for it. The left says wait. We need to think more about this. How do you stop the split thoughts? Dedicate. Dedicate to your decision. You come to a decision, and here's the simplest thing, and I see this over and over again in people's relationships as well. Whether it's personal or business, you see the same thing. People that know, and I will tell you that I've coached a ton of people on their personal side as well as their business. And whether it's personal relations, people that they're dating, people that they're even married to, people that they want to do business partnerships with, people that they want to hire, almost across the board. You interview, as I have, thousands of people across the world. And you ask them as they're in the middle of just the worst of the worst. And usually the reflection happens after they've kind of worked themselves out of the real fiery pit, if you will, of challenge. So they've worked themselves through a fiery pit of challenge. And you ask them, how much of this did you know was inevitable in your future way back at the beginning? When you started the relationship, you know the challenges with the person you were in the relationship with. When you were first hiring the person, you knew that they were bad at X, Y, and Z. When you were first dating, you knew that these things annoyed you. Now, 5 years later, it annoys you so bad you've got to split up. However, you knew this way back when and you overlooked it. When I interview people, most of the time they could have predicted, they knew. They saw the challenges. Only at the beginning, they brushed it aside. They ignored it. They said, it's not that big a deal. If only they had just listened. They knew the criteria. Here's what I was looking for. Those 10 points I'm looking for, I know, but 6 of them really aren't that important. And later, when they split up, those 6 are the things that caused them to split up. Those 6 are the things that caused the business to fail. Those 6 are the things that caused that opportunity not to be right. And they knew it in advance. They just decided not to pay attention to it. So for most of you, when you make a decision, you know that's the decision. Just do it. Make a decision and stick to it. Be willing to make a mistake. Be willing to take the lumps. Be willing to sacrifice. Pull the trigger. I implore you, as I've researched and I've studied people all around the world, and I've looked at their relationships, I've looked at their business practices, pulling the trigger will make the difference. You already know what to do. more often than not. Go ahead and do it. That'll change everything. What do you think, Robin? It's an internal struggle, absolutely. Trust your gut. Kind of sums it up, doesn't it? And it's more than a gut. I will tell you, most people, they watch their process, they decide. I go, great, we decided this, we talked about it. I'll coach people through a process and a decision-making process. And they'll say, yes, that's what I need to do. And then we'll go through the same process next month, and then a month later, and then a month later, and then a month later. I said, well, when would you like to pull the trigger? Well, now. I said, great, let's do it. And then finally, they'll make it happen. Pull the trigger when you first start. Watch where you end up. Time. I've talked about time before. Time is clicking by. Let time work for you by making things happen today rather than tomorrow. Let time work for you every step of the way. A lot of times, and what's going on here, amen, trust your gut. A lot of times people make a decision, a bigger thing out of an unconscious desire to feel more significant. Cute, Doug. So the decision-making process is they make the decision so much more than it is. Yeah, people make a mountain out of a molehill. They think that they're building up significance by making it work. Kind of like same people that create busy work in their day just to make themselves feel important because they're busy, although they're really not accomplishing anything. All of these are real true. So here's what I want you to get is that you are absolutely you are the captains of your own ship. You are the ones who are guiding your life every step of the way. Get clear. Be the leader. Be the captain of your life. And making the decision, don't hesitate. You've got a whole crew, internal and external, that are counting on you moving forward. Move forward with the decisions you know are right. Move forward with the decisions you know are absolutely good for you. Move forward on the decisions that'll create the world you know you want in your future. And you will have so much more in your life every step of the way. This is Paul Finck. This is Maverick Mondays, and so glad you all joined me. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Continue to make decisions. Talk about them right here. Create a new world for yourself. Oh, and by the way, remember, 30-second rule when you go to eat out. Comment whether you're dedicated to that process or not right here. Would love to hear back from you. Talk to you all real soon. Take care now.